If he wants to wear a dress, let him wear a damn dress. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? That does not measure the amount of manliness you have in your body. That's what I personally think. Candace had something to say about. Let me just say this first off. Harry Styles is Harry Styles. I'm just going to say that right off the top. This is kind of a trending pop news type thing. This has nothing to do with like political, but it is kind of, because we do have something. Jack has some added stuff to say about Candace Owens. So it is kind of political, but it kind of isn't at the same time. But you never know with this show. We always talk about everything on this channel. So Candace Owens went to her Twitter and she tweeted this. There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this. In the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack. Bring back manly men. That's what she literally put in a tweet. And then underneath, she put the link to Harry Styles' cover of Vogue. He was on the cover of Vogue rocking a woman's dress. Rocking a dress. What am I saying? Rocking a woman's dress. Rocking a dress. Actually, the whole spread, pretty much, he is in some sort of dress. Gowns and dresses throughout the entire thing. And then on this quote, it says right here, there's so much joy to be had in playing with clothes. I've never thought too much about what it means. It just becomes this extended part of creating something. This is quoted from Vogue magazine from Mr. Harry Styles. We definitely got to talk about this because this is very interesting. It's a weird conversation, but I don't see why she has to come out of her way to basically say manly men need to come back. I don't know what she considers manly men then. I mean, I understand, like, okay, a man wearing a dress, okay, that might be something different. And that might be a little outside the box, but he's an artist. He thinks outside the box. He's going to do his thing. And also, you know, he's going to try to do different things because he knows it's going to create a buzz too. You know what I'm saying? He's creative. He knows about publicity. He knows about getting his face out there. He knows how what he needs to do to stay relevant in the news, aside from his hit songs. Because, you know, Watermelon Sugar's dope. You know what I mean? I love that song. It's popular. It's on every single radio right now. If you know what I mean? Watermelon Sugar, hot. Like every single time you hear it, you can't escape that song, y'all. But if he wants to wear a dress, let him wear a damn dress. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? That does not measure the amount of manliness you have in your body. That's what I personally think. You know what I'm saying? I've seen dudes in dresses knock the F out of dudes, you know, wearing, you know, biker, like Harley Davidson clothing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. Straight up tussles on the ground and stuff. So to me, it's like, what constitutes being a manly man? We do live in a different society. We do live in a different world right now where the traditional sense of manly men is not the guy who smells like, you know, his fingers are stained with yellow from smoking Marlboro Reds and he's covered in soot and oil because he's been working underneath the hood of his brand new Chevy. It's not the same thing anymore. Drinking Bush beer. It's not the same thing. You see what I'm saying? What constitutes as manly men is not the same thing anymore. And for her to say something like that, I think it's a little ridiculous, in my personal opinion. Let the man wear what he wants to wear and let it be what it is. But guys, what are your thoughts on this?
I think she likes being in the news. Like,
yeah, facts.
Like, and he doesn't care, like, what she says.
No, he doesn't.
At all. As I mentioned to you, he's got that FU money, so, like, He's going to do what he wants. I mean, he made that's the first time Vogue has done that before. So there's obviously a large group of people that are really appreciative of what he's done.
Yeah.
And, there's obviously this year we've had a lot of conversations about, what we see as okay and not okay as a society, about, what you teach your children and everything. This age-old view of the things should be back like they were in the 50s and 60s, and men should be men and women should be in the household. Like that just isn't how life is, right? So like like you're saying, oil field workers all over the place. That's how. What is her view of I'm a manly man? Then she shouldn't be. If in that view of her world, then she shouldn't be where she's at, right?
Facts.
She shouldn't be in politics.
Facts.
So it's a very one-sided view of things. And if I remember correctly, there's a whole group of countries that men wear kilts.
Yep.
And they used to go and ravage places. So to have
Braveheart.
Again, I think that she likes the opportunity to be in the news.
Facts.
And she doesn't care if it's controversial.
They'll take our land
and everything. That actually, she looks for the controversial statements to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
But on top of that, there's also recently she has noted that she responded to somebody's tweet about if when Trump's gone, what's going to happen, and she said, well, 2024 is a little bit of ways away, but maybe I'll be his successor. And then now there's a thing going around about who would be running with her, and so people are putting out pictures of Ivanka Trump with Candace Owens saying 2024.
Yeah, now that would be something very, very interesting for sure. That would be interesting as hell if that would turn into that. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. There is many cultures where they are wearing something that would resemble like a skirt or a dress of some sort, where it's men wearing those clothing. And you also got to remember the conventional sense of the thing. This is a dress is made for women because this is what society says is made for women. You see what I'm saying? If you're bending the rules and you're thinking outside the box, then anybody can wear anything if they want. I remember that there was a time at one point where, I wasn't born at this time. Then I'd be like 700 years old. But there was a time where women wearing pants was very risque, was very looked down upon, because that was seen as something that was very masculine. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that all men should go running around in gowns and dresses. But if that's what you want to rock, then you rock it. I don't care. But at the same time, he's doing something that is different. Isn't that punk rock? Isn't that what that's all about? Remember in the 80s, like there were in the 80s, there was a glam rock. There was what was it? There was this androgynous look that was going on where rock bands were wearing lipstick and their hair was all Farrah Fawcetted out and all that stuff. These were men that looked like women. And yet they were getting laid more than any other guy out there. You know what I'm saying? So, this is just this is just rock and roll, man. This is just what it is. It's just part of expression. And I don't think that there's any big deal about it. I do agree with you on what you're saying in regards to Candace, though, trying to just stay relevant to things and all that. But at the same time, I do agree with this, too. If she was going on the traditional sense of things, then she would be home, barefoot and pregnant, letting her husband be manly man. You know what I'm saying? Being the breadwinner, and her being the submissive, dutiful wife. If we're talking about like the traditional, like old school sense of manly men. And I don't think her husband's the one who's like, smoking cigarettes, covered in sweat, working in the oil fields. He doesn't come off like that. He's British. He's not doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. David, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, very much the same. It's just it's not new really. It's like like David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, even Elvis wore all these extravagant, sometimes feminine clothing. It's pretty strong tradition in rock, especially in British rock. Like you mentioned, like the hair metal, a lot of hair metal bands came out of there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's just not her business, and
Right.
that's really it.
I mean, it's one thing that I've noticed with her, and like I said, anybody who's a fan of her, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? To each their own. If she wants to run in 2024, good on you. Good luck. Good night and good luck. You can even see it's like she's just trying to find something to just stay relevant out there. She was doing the same thing with Cardi B. Just kind of going in on her, basically just talking trash and all that, just going in on Cardi B because Cardi B interviewed Joe Biden at the time. And then so she just started mocking her and started roasting Cardi B. And then it just turned into this battle between Cardi B and Candace Owens. And she just kept going. She just kept feeding that machine and feeding that BS. And it's kind of like, well, are you really a diplomatic, like politician-y person? Or are you just somebody who's just trying to stay relevant in the Twitters and in the YouTubes and in social media? You know what I mean? And that's, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, just because he wants to wear a dress, man, let him wear a dress. I don't care. You know what I mean? And also, just to reiterate, because I know that Mr. G just said nothing wrong with old school. There is nothing wrong with old school. And if that's how you value, if those are the values that you instill into your family and into your life, and it doesn't bother anybody and is causing no harm to anybody behind your own closed doors, and how you run your home and how you run your structure of your life is on y'all, as long as it doesn't hurt nobody. So old school is not a problem, but she clearly is not an old school woman. So she should not be saying stuff like that.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.